All right, Nick. First time in YouTube history that I got an error that said live streaming not available, and then I just clicked off of it, and apparently it's working. So we'll see. Appears to be working. All signs say it's working, but very concerning there to start the show. What's not concerning is the fact that the Reds baseball team has scored 5 runs tonight, which is really all they need to score more times than not. Now, I say that hesitantly, no jinxing, and knocking on wood for those that think that we have an impact on the baseball game. Just got to get the first out, Nick, which you're ahead of me. You always are.
It's finally actually where I had a stretch where it was not working at all tonight. I think MLB TV went out for a while.
Yeah, well, I got 2-2.
Switched it over to the TBS broadcast it's on tonight.
5,
had
4, 3.
The Padres announcer calling the game. He was very enthused for the Reds.
Oh, yeah. You're saying that he wasn't?
He was very much not. And Spencer Steer, a ball hit to right field, left field. That's out of here.
Strike 3. See ya. See ya!
Meanwhile, you have John Sadek losing his mind over a strikeout to start the ninth. I love it.
What a pitch. What a pitch, man.
All right, there we go. Could not find the Twitter.
What a pitch, you know? What a baseball pitch, folks.
That was a great pitch, too. Why is Santion warming?
They're going to bring him in with 2 outs in the 9th inning, up by 4. Just let somebody take it. Thank you. 2 of them. It's 2 of them, chat. 2 of them.
I don't.
Hey,
I guess if he's warming, if he's warming, what's the difference?
Here's the thing. One thing that you gotta say about Tito is that he definitely does use the matchups to his advantage by the book every single time. You know, not much of a field guy. Very much always is gonna probably look at the analytical perspective of what he's got going for him, and he's gonna make that call, Nick. So I don't know why you're surprised that in the 9th inning, when you mowed 2 guys down, you threw a perfect pitch on the outside corner to get PCA out. You got a lazy pop up to center field. I don't know why you think that he thinks that he can't get that last out up by 4 with what some are calling a tax bullpen and Santion, who's pitched quite literally every other game. But at least we know what we're getting. That's what I say.
He doesn't mess around. I mean, he does not mess around in these 4-run games. He does not care what the win probability says.
Nope.
I'm not going to lose one of these games, and yeah. You just hope you have enough arms if you're in a race in September.
Yeah. We'll worry about September when September gets here. How about that? I think that's the mindset. You know what I will say? I think that's actually like a relatively fair mindset with this team, because it seems like they don't really have a chance to try to even think about the future. They got to worry about winning every single damn game there is now. To be fair to you and everyone else right now that's wondering why you take Sam Moll out of the game right there, probably because, like you said, he's already hot. He's already thrown enough in the bullpen to where he's probably not going to have much of a difference. That said, does he only get like 2 batters here? Is there someone else warming up, or is this like his game no matter what from here on out?
I would assume so. I mean, there's not really like a lefty matchup. Only lefty left is Brent Suter. Is not really.
Yeah.
Let's
hope we get like 1 pitch, 1 out right here.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, then we really don't have to worry about it at all. Yeah. I'm with you guys. It doesn't make a difference as long as we can get this out in a relatively somewhat quick fashion, right? Like, I do agree with that. 10 pitches or less, what's it matter? It doesn't matter. Somehow we get into this 25, 30 pitch mark because something happens in this baseball game that it does matter. So
there you go. There you go.
You're ahead of me. Is that the game? You're telling me that's the baseball game. All right. Little ground ball. Spencer Steer does what Spencer Steer does, and Santillan takes care of it. Folks, what are you supposed to say? You can't win 5, Nick, unless you win 1. You can't win 4, Nick, unless you win 2 in a row. And you can't win 3 unless you give yourself a chance tomorrow to do it. Now I've just come to realize during the show that we don't have an intro. There's some people that are jumping for joy. But the reality is I'm going to add that in right now, and I'm just going to fill air until I can get to the intro. So you're just going to have to bear with me. So my apologies for that. I don't know how it left. Don't know where it went. But you know what? We're going to find it right now as I dig through the archives of this computer. Some are saying I found it. Some are saying I didn't find it. Let's see. Nick. Hold on. I don't know. Some are saying we might not have an intro. It's going to be a shame.
Bench to bench. Change into the air to deep right field. That goes Clemente. It's the save. He's done. Get out of here, baseball. It's gone. Oh, my God. You believe it. Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep. In the dirt. It's a wild pitch. Here comes Foster. The Reds win the pennant. Perkins won the game. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none. Welcome, Joe Landa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded. The outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on. Long drive. Right field. And this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club. Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb. Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again. The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win!
for Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first. And Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
Folks, just when you think you might be out, here they come again. The rallying Redlegs find a way to go into the Windy City, the windiest city of them all. Boy, oh boy, did I have to mute the television after about the second inning because of that. And you know what? I'm not going to get into it because I'm tired of talking about the Wind in Chicago. But I do know this. They found a way to win their second straight game. Currently, as we speak, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres are knotted at 2 apiece. And the Diamondbacks do have a runner at third base with nobody out to see if they can't cash in there and take the lead. Nick, maybe it's too early to be scoreboard watching. Maybe it's too early to get this excited about the perhaps gaining a game in what is a very, very impactful wild card race that we got some chance to gain some ground here relatively soon. But just another huge opportunity that this baseball team has given themselves a chance to do tomorrow. And you clinch a series against a good baseball team.
Well, they did gain a full game already on the Mets. The Mets lost, so the Reds are now 3 games behind the Mets and the Padres, which is big. Again, the Mets and Phillies still have to play each other 7 times, and the Reds are, I think, 4 games behind the Phillies, 3 games behind the Mets. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. It's not just the Padres that you're chasing, but yeah, this was a fun baseball game, Trace. I mean, this was maybe not the most exciting game of the year, but it was up there. Great atmosphere at Wrigley, tight game throughout, and then the Reds just came up with some big moments. Got the Cubs' big trade deadline acquisition reliever booed off the field. I mean, what's more enjoyable than that?
Oh, I was thinking to myself towards the latter part of this baseball game, boy, I tell you what, Nick Krall is going to be strutting into wherever he goes next to get that bowl cut of his, and he's going to walk out feeling mighty fresh. You know what I'm saying? Nick Krall is feeling himself tonight. He just has to be. There's no doubt about it. He's probably sitting around, taking it all in. Well, before we obviously discuss why he's going to take it all in, let's do some super chats real quick, and then we'll do the box score recap and jump right in to what is a massive win for the Cincinnati Reds. And we got plenty of supers to support it. OJ's 94 Bronco. I don't know if this is the OG Bronco or not, but boy, it has been a minute, hasn't it? Thanks for the chat summary that's blocking my super chats, YouTube. 11-6 since the All-Star break. Yeah, that's good. That is what we have been, and I would say that's what it's going to ultimately take for them to run down some of these teams ahead of them because they are good teams ahead of us. I don't suspect those teams completely falling apart and just handing over a wild card position. Mark Fetter says Spencer Steer. Got a feeling that Spencer Steer will be the deep drive of the day. We'll get to that in just a minute. Optimistic Reds fan says, get crawled, boys. This team's getting confident. We shall find out. Hopefully they can continue the progression that we have made. Certainly the Big Red Machine. I've always said I love the Big Red Machine. Crawl. Witten did a little shopping. Say what you want. Daddy brought home some beef. Tito and the Reds are cooking with gas. Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on those jokes. Those are probably a little too over the top on a show like this. We're gonna keep it a kid show, but boy, oh boy, did Littell, however we're gonna say his name. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He found a way to throw an absolute gem on his first time out, and I was thinking to myself, he might be, just a little bit nervous. It's got to be a little weird situation. You're going into a brand new team. You want to try to impress him. You want to make sure that you perform well for him. Boy, did he do that tonight. Dunny, 17, says, pay up, Trace. Yo, someone 20 for 2-hole. 731. All right, Dunny. I'm going to have to go back and check, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Matt McClain. Is that what we're talking about right now? I believe that's what he's referencing. We'll get to that later in the show. Andrew Scobie says, Nick, that is 2 down and 3 to go. A lot of math on this show. A lot of math. We've done a lot of math. A lot of super chat math, baby. 11 and 6. 731. Pay someone 20. That's 2 down, 3 to go. All 3 new guys are looking great, says Jacob Doyle. Amazing One says, I heard Benson got sent down. No, we're not doing this tonight. No. I can't do it. We're not doing it. I don't know what this says. I'm going to Ron Burgundy it, but we're going to read it and we're going to move on, Amazing One, because this is not what therapists suggest. When you finally get over the hump of something, we don't turn back around and discuss it again. Benson got sent down because he took a spin in Tito's motor seat right after he piped one 400 feet to right field, followed by a 3-spin bat flip. On a night like tonight, where in the hell did you pull that super chat from? Ethan Falk? I need to get his full name. We're going to I got to go to his channel. When you put a 50 bomb up and I can't even read your full name, we're going to have to go all over the web to find it. Ethan Fulkerson. Shout out to Ethan Fulkerson. I don't know if you meant to super chat $5 or $50, Ethan, but I appreciate it. And if you need the money back, just let us know. All right? But Ethan Fulkerson, shout out to him. Looks like he has Wayne Warriors flag, maybe? I don't know what that is as a profile picture, but that's here nor there. Shout out to Ethan Fulkerson. He says, if the Reds fans see Craig Counsell out and about tonight in Chicago, make sure you buy that man a drink. He must have had Reds money line taking Shota out. And shout out to Spencer Steer for killing our rally. ATOBTTR, for those that don't know what that means, and this one belongs to the Reds. Kackerman says, positivity only moving forward. The red surge is upon us, boys. And again, I'm sorry for some of the things I said, Steer. I believe too. You know what? I'm willing to make that pact with you. If Spencer Steer is capable once a week of hitting a baseball in gale force winds, Nick, that goes out of the ballpark, I too will believe. That's all I need. That's what I'm looking for out of my first baseman tonight. That is the type of stuff we need to make the postseason. All right, moving on. The bench warmers. I know a thing or two about that. Steer is showing his beef stick tonight. This is a kid show, folks. Don't Ron Burgundy me. We're going to keep it moving. Nick, thank you for the super chats, everybody. We will get to some more, I'm sure, later in the show. But for now, we're going to do the traditional box score recap presented by Nick Kirby. And as always, we will do then the DSC Deep Drive of the Day. Nick, take it away.
All right, Reds taking on the Cubs, game 2 of 3 at Wrigley Field, game 2 of a 7-game road trip. Zack Littell made his Reds debut, and it was a beauty. Littell struck out a season-high 8 batters over 7 innings of 1-run baseball, only allowing 3 hits. The Reds often struggled against the lefty Shoto Imanaga with the wind blowing in at Wrigley. Reds didn't get a base runner until the 4th inning, and that was a T.J. Friedl bunt single, and he was immediately picked off. In the top of the 5th, Miguel Andujar smoked a ground rule double, and then Spencer Steer ripped him home with a single to put the Reds up 1-0. The Cubs tied it in the 5th, but the Reds finally got Imanaga out of the game with 1 out in the 7th, still tied at 1. The Cubs, they brought in their big trade deadline acquisition, reliever Andrew Kitteridge. He walked. Austin Hayes gave up a single to Miguel Andujar, and then Spencer Steer hit a 3-run home run to left field to make it 4-1 Reds. Noelvi Marte then crushed a ground rule double, 113 off the bat. Jose Trevino singled, and then Santiago Espinal hit a sac fly to make it 5-1, the only out that Kitteridge got. He left to a chorus of Wrigley boos. Graham Ashcraft got the Reds 2 outs. Sam Moll maybe looked the best he has all year. Retired all 3 batters he faced, 2 of them via strikeouts. And then Tony Santillan got the final out. Reds win 5-1 to win a series at Wrigley Field. Reds now 60-54 on the season.
All right, we got a deep drive of the day, and it came off the bat of Spencer Steer. A monster blast, a moonshot, some would say. 377 feet and 98.4 miles an hour off the bat. But you know what he did do? He launched it at the perfect angle. 32 degrees. That would give the Reds a 4-1 lead, and their win probability, for those that care, would jump 33%. But you know what it ultimately mattered? The Reds would wind up winning 100%. DSC, they are 100% a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. Thank you to John and his team for supporting our show. And thank you to all of you for supporting our show as well. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. And, there's one thing that I think that it's probably appropriate to get to before we jump directly into Zack Littell. That's how I'm going to say his name. I don't know if it's pronounced right. I don't know. But you know what? I'm open to someone sending me a DM on exactly how to say it if you are upset by it. But it's really for a guy that would probably appreciate what I'm getting ready to do. Zack Littell looks like a guy that would appreciate this. So for all of you that probably want this, I know the Reds won the series against the Chicago Cubs. We got a chance to sweep tomorrow. So this might put me to sleep, but you know what? Some would probably like that on this show. So here goes nothing. All right. Here we go. Zack Littell. I think that when the deadline, came and expired, this was not a sexy pickup. It was not something that I felt like many Reds fans, including myself, thought much of, other than it gave them a chance to probably put Martinez in the bullpen. And it seems like that's really the reason they decided, and even Tito's comments have suggested that's probably why they went out and got Littell, because they were trying to get some bullpen help. And in the words of Francona, the market was going berserk. But you know what? Nick Lodolo goes down on the 15-day IL. You look around and now you ask yourself, well, Martinez has to come back to be a starter. You almost now are relying on Littell to be a pretty big arm for you moving forward, at least until you get some reinforcements. And tonight he couldn't have looked any better. And again, to be fair, it's his first time with us. Do I expect it to go this way every single time? No, but it was nice to see him get off to a good start, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely, I think, made a lot of friends in the Reds clubhouse today. I mean, they're coming in, needing depth, and it's a tough spot, man. You're making your debut, and you not only want to pitch well because the team's, in a playoff race, but you also kind of feel like you can't just go 5 and dive either because of where the Reds pitching staff was. And so he was incredible. 16 swing and misses. He only allowed 4 hard hit balls the whole day. Really felt like he was in control. As we've seen, the stat on him is he only gives up solo home runs. That's what he did today. Nice. And it was exactly what you want. So I mean, the big thing he does, he just gives the Reds options. If everyone's healthy, you can move Nick Martinez to your bullpen and have a better bullpen. If everyone's not healthy, you have an extra starter. I mean, if the Reds would have went out and got 2 relievers right now, I mean, you could be in a tough spot if Hunter Green doesn't come back, and that's not a given. He still has 1 more rehab start. But if he doesn't come back and you have Chase Burns kind of on an innings limit, I mean, you really needed a starter. So he just gave the Reds a lot more options, and he won't pitch this well all year. But if he's just an average pitcher the rest of the year, it's going to be a good pickup, I think, for the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, I think he threw above his weight tonight. There's no doubt. He's not going to go out and give us this quality of a start every single time, but he doesn't need to for this team to be successful enough to get to a spot where we all want them to get to, which is the postseason. I felt like first time watching him throw the ball, he obviously has pretty good command considering the fact that he does have an incredibly low walk rate, as already kind of, divulged when he came over. But more importantly, I felt like you kind of got to see what a good defense also is capable of doing behind a guy that can throw the ball over the plate, Nick. Will we play as good of defense tonight every single game? Maybe not, but I thought that you got to see the formula that can make you believe that this Reds team can compete with the best teams in the league. And let's make no mistake, we can all dislike the Cubs as much as we want, and trust me, I'm right there with you. They got a good baseball team, and they've beat a good baseball team 2 nights in a row. I know that perhaps it's a little doom and gloom what seems like right now around Wrigley, especially probably after a night like tonight when you go out and you make trades and the Reds lineup beats around one of your trade line acquisitions. That probably can't feel all too well. But to get back into Littell, I don't know really what else there's to say outside the fact that, if you throw the ball over the plate in Wrigley when the wind's blowing in, as mentioned a couple times during the broadcast, it's probably going to bode well for you, and that's what he did tonight. The biggest concern maybe is what it looks like at Great American Ballpark if you're home run prone, but time will tell, and I guess let's not, just because we're still on our honeymoon, let's not worry about, what life's like perhaps when times get tough, when you got 4 kids and you're trying to wrangle them all up on a morning right before school when perhaps it's not pretty. So we'll just live in the moment and enjoy our beach vacation currently with Zack Littell.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, I mean, he's going to be better than I'm pretty sure he's going to be better than Brian Van Bell, who was a guy that I liked at AAA, but had no big league experience, was not a high prospect. He would have been starting at some point this week if the Reds did not pick up Littell. And so that's what you're kind of judging him against really for the rest of the year, because that's who would have been starting for the Reds. So, yeah, I mean, he loved the fact that this guy just does not walk anyone. He actually walked 2 tonight, which is kind of unlike him, but, that, and I think he gets a decent amount of ground balls, not great, but he got quite a few tonight. I don't know, maybe the Reds can kind of harness a little bit more of that. They seem like that's been kind of a formula they've been using, and that could, elevate him, a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's I don't think that you can convince me that Nick Kroll knew exactly this is how it would all play out, but it worked out in our favor tonight. And I still think that very clearly we're going to need Hunter Green to come back, and we're going to need Nick Lodolo at some point to come back and be the Nick Lodolo that he can be. And hopefully, as they had mentioned with his blister, hopefully he got to it soon enough to where it didn't, materialize into something that's going to keep him out long term. We'll find out about that.
Super glass full. I didn't think Lodolo could make it through a full season. So, I mean, if he sits out a couple weeks, gets some rest, he might be able to pitch deeper into the season. So I know that's as glass half full as you possibly could have it, but I did not believe he was going to make it through a full season, at least through a full season, effective pitching, 6 innings every time out. So rest for Lodolo might not be the worst thing in the world if he's able to get through this blister in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know. It's just hard to know what Lodolo was capable of doing. He looked like he has never been better as a pitcher, so it's hard to be like this is a blessing for him. Clearly, we don't think that, but you might be right. Maybe it gives him a chance to reset, and the wing will feel pretty good towards the end of the season when otherwise maybe it wouldn't have if he didn't have this blister hiccup, which is a really pretty glass half full take. Spencer Steer, speaking of glass half fulls, I said it yesterday, I think, on the show, and I'll continue to say it. I think he's the X factor. I really do. I felt all along that maybe the thing that perhaps gives me pessimism for this baseball team more times than not, and I keep asking myself, like, what exactly is it that just hangs you up every time you want to try to convince yourself that they're good enough to do this thing that some would call improbable? And it really just comes back to, the fact that there's been a lack of production at first base and DH, and I've said that too many times on the show, and people are tired of hearing it. But tonight's a good example as to why you need some pop from those positions. And it doesn't need to be something crazy where every night you're getting a base hit, or every night you find a way to get on base 2 times via walk and or a double. I just need some pop, like a home run. I'm not asking for a whole lot here, but a home run every so often is the world of difference for this baseball team. And the narrative, and I'm going to not go off on the rails on this show, okay? I'm going to try to be a more mature adult because I can only handle this talking point so many times while I watch these broadcasts. I get the sentiment of wanting to have the mindset as a hitter to hit the ball through the middle and the backside. It's what I would teach my kid. It's what I grew up learning, okay? But it doesn't mean that the mindset and the actual result, we want to be the same thing. Now, that might confuse some people, but my whole point in saying this is I don't think any good hitter goes up trying to hit home runs. They don't. They don't. I'm well aware of that. But let's not sit here and act like that the double earlier in the game and the home run by Steer isn't the difference. That's quite literally the difference in the game. So we can sit here and try to convince ourselves that we're going to get 6, 7, 8, singles in an inning, and that's going to rally the troops, and we're going to be able to get 2, 3, 4 runs. It's just not a recipe that this team's going to be capable of doing more times than not. So, yeah, we're going to need to rely on some guys to hit the ball over the fence, and Spencer Steer is probably a big part of that, Nick.
Yeah, I was as encouraged as anything by the single off of Shoto Imanaga in the 5th. That ball was actually hit harder. That was against the lefty. Spencer Steer's just splits the last couple of years have not made a whole lot of sense. Like this year, he has a 615 OPS against left-handed pitching, 255 on base percentage. Like throughout his minor league career, he was a significantly better hitter against left-handed pitching. And then in 2023, first year in the big leagues, we kind of saw that he absolutely destroyed lefties. I mean, he had a 928 OPS, hit 313 against lefties. But the last 2 years, for whatever reason, he hasn't really hit lefties well. So I don't know if it's some fluky thing. I mean, I try not to get too wrapped up in splits over a 1 year samples, but I mean, we're talking, this was over like 200 at bats against lefties where he'd kind of been below average. So for him to hit that single, hit it hard against a lefty, that to me was the one thing. Okay. Because that's the thing that I feel like is the most sustainable thing that Spencer Steer can do is be a guy that just crushes lefties. Cause I think that that's kind of what my expectation was for him. Back in 2023. And so that was really, really encouraging for me that he had that big swing in that big spot there.
Yeah. And what's funny is I think when Spencer Steer first came up, the one trait that we admired about him was he's available every single day and that he played multiple positions to where you could kind of utilize him throughout the course of a week in a couple different areas where you needed to give a guy a rest, or maybe this guy was struggling, so you wanted to give him a day off, whatever it was. Spencer Steer did an excellent job of that, and he didn't miss a beat at the plate. Now we find ourselves in a weird position where you can't really take him off of first base, which you'd like to say is a position you need some more offensive production from, but he's played so good defensively there that you just have to probably not risk the fact of sticking someone else out there, just hoping that you're going to get maybe a couple 100 points on the OPS difference, and whether or not that delta is going to wind up making a difference over the course of what will be 60 days, Nick. We're getting now into an area where sample sizes and the run of the season is not long enough to just assume that you can play out statistics to a certain extent, right? Like, it'd be like us sitting here trying to judge a player off of just 1 week of baseball. And we've seen how that's gone in the past with certain players. I don't dislike the idea that Spencer Steer can continue to play first base for the rest of the season. I don't dislike that at all. The thing that I'm concerned about is that if you play Spencer Steer at first base, then we need some other production around him as well. It can't just be like we're always relying on the first base and DH to provide power. You need Hayes to step up at some point too. I think that he's kind of been an underbelly here. He's flown under the radar in regards to perhaps a little bit of a concern. He did hit a ball, oddly enough, really well tonight, and he didn't get any favoritism, as it was basically like a foot off the basket in center field. The wind knocked it down.
I was tempted to make that the DSC deep drive of the game as it was further than Steer, but I had a feeling I would get absolutely run off.
Right. But
I thought it'd be a funny joke, but I don't think people would have got it. I'm sorry to derail your point.
No, it's fine. It's not so much to say that this offense is capable of being good enough. It's just we need some consistency out of those positions. And Spencer Steer sometimes showcases that he is the same guy that he was in 2023, and that's what we need. It is by far the biggest X factor on this baseball team. Any other parting thoughts, I guess, from tonight? Ke'Bryan Hayes makes an unbelievable play at third base, and you start to ask yourself, can this guy hit just a little bit? If he can hit just a fraction, he is going to be a player that I'm telling you. And I said this immediately on the first show, and I think even on X. 2028, 2029 could be a laugh out loud moment for what he gets paid and what he's capable of doing and help this baseball team. He could also be bagging groceries at Kroger, so I don't want to sit here and go out on a huge stand here, but I will openly admit that I am kind of jumping into what is the Ke'Bryan Hayes Kool-Aid.
Did you believe that Santiago Espinal was taken out of the game for defense?
Is it?
Imagine if I told you that.
Is it insane that he hit too? I'm not trying to go down that warpath tonight, but that was an insane move, man. It worked out. Tito Magic, go with your gut, Hall of Fame manager. But, dude, we had Gavin Lux on the bench. We had Jake Fraley on the bench. They both could have hit right there in that spot, and they could have quite literally done the same exact thing, which was put Ke'Bryan Hayes at third base the next inning. But they didn't. They were like, you know what? What a situational hitter this guy is. Let's let him go to bat.
It was just one of those nights where I just say, yeah, congrats, Tito. You won tonight. I mean, Stevenson not starting against a lefty after hitting a home run yesterday. Andujar still hitting again against a right-handed pitcher later in the game. Yeah, you know what?
You can't make sense of it, and that's okay. At some point during this baseball season, I think for those that really get into what is the splits and the numbers and the margins that you try to maybe put your best foot forward to give yourself the best chance to win, this is just not the type of organization at this current moment to try to rationalize it. You might as well save your breath, because some people are going to think you're complaining. Really, all you're doing is just pointing out the fact that if it didn't go the right way, we would have been all over it. But you know what? You got to give them credit, I guess, because it feels like they hit on 17, Nick, and they got a 21.
Yeah, no, it does. You live to fight another day.
All right. Plenty more to talk about in this show, but as always, we want to remind everybody that it is okay to not be okay. You can text and or call 988 day or night, and you can also visit mantherapy.org to get help. I'll tell you who needs some help, Nick. I'll tell you who needs some help. We might want to lend a helping hand on X to our main man, Reed Mouse, because boy, oh boy, did he think he had a good baseball team on his hands. And you know what? Maybe they still are good, but by golly, isn't it? How big of a pain in the tail could it possibly be? You get off to an unbelievable start. Your baseball team looks like they might be able to compete for a World Series, and maybe they still can, but you get my point. And then all of a sudden, the old pesky Milwaukee Brewers, they start winning some baseball games. You're like, that's a fluke. Brewers aren't going to keep doing this again. Then all of a sudden, the Brewers win 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 7 in a row, 8 in a row, 9 in a row, 10 in a row. And then they do that once, and you're like, okay, that was the end of that. They'll fall back to grace. Nope, they do it again. And now all of a sudden, the Cubs are finding themselves playing in a wild card spot. And I don't know what it is. How many games behind are there? 4 games at this point? Where are we at on the Cubs? I mean, I know that's probably not something we should really worry about, to be fair. But I'm just saying, you win tomorrow.
Five and a half. Yeah, I mean,
all right. So we're still a little out there.
Yeah,
we're still a little out there.
4.5's 4.5. All
right, but let's just be honest. We're a little bit behind the Cubs still, but that's okay. Andujar, Hayes. I was told this guy can only hit lefties, and tonight it looked like he can hit. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not here to champion that this guy maybe is the all-time DH, but I mean, based off what I've seen tonight,
he's not Santiago Espinal splits righty left. Like he's a somewhat capable hitter against right-handed pitching. But I mean, the most of his value is going to be against lefties. And if Jake Fraley and Gavin Lux can't out-hit Miguel Andujar against right-handed pitching, then like they have no business being on the Reds roster. That's kind of how I look at it.
I was just giving him credit. He looked good tonight. Back, really the ball he hit out to right center field was hit really, really well. And I think that I don't mean to keep going to this well, but I think that Brantley called it a line drive. I mean, the thing was towering over the rooftops, but that's here nor there. It's just nice to see guys that can hit, that can get more than just maybe a single on this baseball team. Simply put, I don't make a whole lot of it. I'm trying to temper my expectations on these additions that we just got. Zack Littell looked really, 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 really good. Ke'Bryan Hayes, which we'll get to in just a second, has looked really, really, really good, and now Andujar has looked really, really good as well. So I'm not trying to forecast that obviously they're going to have bad moments, but Hayes has already, to be fair to him, kind of had a bad moment, and he's rebounded. And he's rebounded in a big, big way. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, Andujar is just a guy. I mean, I think you're hoping to help fill your void of hitting lefties. You're hoping he can get hot and play well. Hayes is a different story. I mean, this is a guy that you can really believe in. You can really believe that he could get back to somewhere close to what he was like in 2023, which is, I mean, legitimately an all-star player. Now, he might not get to the all-star game because, the all-star games typically don't value defense as much, but I mean, a 3-4 win player. I mean, that's one of the better players in the National League at that position. So, man, just that play today was just unbelievable. And you know what? I mean, the Reds were up 5-1, but that's still a big first out, because you've seen games at Wrigley Field where, and I think that was Tito's thinking late in the game when he went to Santillan with 2 outs. You've seen games in that ballpark. Now the wind was blowing in, but I've seen a lot of games turn on a dime.
I agree with you. I'm not. It was a big out. Anytime you can get the first out in an inning when you have a lead is a momentum. It's a momentum thing. I am a full-fledged believer in momentum in all of sports, and I don't think that. And I know there's like this, very, very, great debate perhaps by some philosophers and folks that sit there and they look at the analytics and they say, well, it's not a real thing. Momentum's not a real thing. You can't really quantify, what momentum even is. How do you explain that? And I just think that if you watch sports long enough or you played sports, you can get a pretty good idea that momentum's real. You start to get that. Let's just say, for instance, that's a base hit. Next thing you know, the next guy gets walked. Next thing you know, guy hits a flare to right field, and the next thing you know, you're finding yourself in a tight baseball game, and it could have all been prevented by the base, by that play. You never know. I mean, maybe the next 2 guys get out, but the bigger thing, instead of just the play itself, is just the fact that he has been able to rebound from making a mistake. Like, I know that some people would scoff at that, but I genuinely think that he's got some mental toughness that exists, because when you come over to a new team and you make the type of play that he made, which was an error that he traditionally wouldn't make, Nick, and you follow that up by hitting a home run, and you then also follow that up by making some really incredible plays the next few nights, I like the idea that he's been able to bounce back and show some mental fortitude, and I think that will bode well going forward. And I said it, and I'll say it again. I'm not a big jersey guy. I really not, but I will 100% give Hayes jersey just to hang up on the wall. I just need to give myself probably another year before I can do it, largely just because the Candelario stench from that number needs to wear off. But yeah, he could end up being a huge addition to this team.
Yeah.
Pirates fans have to be pissed too, by the way. I mean,
I'm manifesting this now. Thursday night, top of the 3rd inning, PNC Park.
Okay.
Paul Skeens on the mound. Brian Hayes rips ones out the left.
Livy Dunn's hanging out in the press box. They'll show her 3 or 4 times.
Could you imagine if Brian Hayes hit a home run off Paul Skeens? Like how down Pirates fans would be?
Yeah, and I do want to remind Pirates fans that there is always the opportunity, even though it's an Ohio resource, they can also utilize 988. They can text in or call day or night. They are a piss-poor organization. We're not too far behind them, to be fair, but they are the leader in the clubhouse of just piss-poor organizational situational baseball.
Reds are 11 games ahead of the Pittsburgh Pirates right now.
Yeah, and if you'd have told me that at the start of the year, I would have told you that we had a pretty solid year, because I thought, and I think you thought the same thing, I didn't think the Pirates were as bad as everybody says they are, but they always seem to find a way to be that bad. So
they've allowed fewer runs than the Reds. Like, isn't that they've allowed fewer runs than the Cubs, the Reds. They've allowed like 40 runs fewer than the Cardinals. Like,
They just can't hit.
crazy how bad their offense is.
Yeah. Well, Key Brian Hayes wasn't good enough for him, so there's that. Sam Moll, he came in today and he did something that this baseball team desperately needed. He found a way to get some good left-handed hitters out in some critical moments. I thought that the pitch against Tucker was fantastic. I think he even had, if I remember back right, I know we were getting ready for the show, but capable of getting a weak fly ball there in the ninth. I think he could have finished the game, to be fair, but they obviously decided to go to Santillan, which is kudos to them. But Moll's an interesting situation because really he's kind of been the forgotten piece that at one time in 2023 was really someone that we leaned heavily on. But then, it kind of has spiraled a little bit, and now you find yourself back into a spot where you put your trust back in him.
Yeah, and you know what? Moll's peripheral numbers aren't nearly as bad as the overall numbers. Entered today with a FIP of 4.01. I'm sure that went down with a perfect inning with 2 strikeouts today. But he is not allowed to run in 13 out of his last 15 appearances dating back to AAA. So I hope that he's found something, because when you talk about, you talked about Steer earlier as an X factor. Maybe Sam Moll's not on that level because he doesn't play every day, but the Reds desperately need a lefty that can get big left-handed batters out this year. And I like what I'm seeing out of Sam Moll. I'm not fully convinced. I'm not all the way in on Sam Moll, but man, he's a big piece. And what he's done of late certainly has been impactful. And you hope that he can keep this up.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back through the box score here and get a quick look at the summary if I can remember right. Do you know who did he eventually? Where am we at here? He came in. Let's see. Here.
Struck out PCA. Struck out. He struck out Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, and then got Willie Castro to hit a weak pop up. I mean, that's about as good as you could do.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, not only that, but he looked like he had good command. It wasn't like they had bad at bats. I just think that he had some better pitches. The pitch against Tucker was just a perfect pitch. I mean, it was absolutely dotted, and we'll see ultimately if he can keep that up. But as we've always said, relievers, man, they're fickle. So I don't know how much stock you put into any of them. I mean, I am so appreciative of really what the back end of this bullpen has done, specifically in Barlow, Santillan, and Pagan. I mean, it is insanity that those guys have risen to the occasion time and time again, because, I think that if you would have taken those players and you told every major league club before the year what their performance was going to look like, they would have been a very highly coveted bunch, right? I'm not suggesting that they're the nasty boys here, Nick, but they have given Tito a huge lift this season. All right, before we go any farther, let me see if we have any more supers that we need to get to. I'm sure that we have a couple that I have missed, and we will get to those right now. Willie Major says he was on the Rays. It was on the A's. That might have been so long ago on the show, and that was also pre-Fireball Swig. I don't remember exactly what is that. I don't know. I know he's talking about Littell. He's talking about Littell. He was on the A's. It was on the A's. Anyway, all right, moving on. Thank you, Will Major. Appreciate it. I'm sorry that my brain's not smart enough to figure that out at all. I'm an idiot. I've been told many times on this show that I am that. Ned Flanders, we know him. He says Tito thinks the season's over in August. How about Santillan as the opener for Abbott tomorrow? I don't even. Yeah, what would I know? What? Why? Why are we doing that to ourselves? I don't think we need to do that. Is he joking because he just wants Santillan just to keep throwing? That's what it is. Ned Flanders is smart. Ned Flanders is made. This is a sarcastic joke. He says Tito thinks the season is over in August. How about Santillan as the opener tomorrow? I think he's just saying that we didn't really need to probably put Santillan out there. I could be wrong, but I'm trying to read between the lines here.
Okay.
So that's my interpretation. Putrid Talent says, did I actually see Espinal hit a sacrifice fly with men on the corners with one out? All right. Against a righty, Owen Wilson. Wow. That was a big at bat. I mean, I got to give Espinal some credit. I actually don't even think. I didn't think Espinal had the power, really, to get a fly ball that far with a swing that looked the way that it did. It didn't look like Espinal even smoked it, right? Like Espinal clearly can hit a home run, but when he hits a home run, it looks like he got all of it type situation. The way that swing looked, I did not know Espinal had that ability to get the ball in the air. So shout out to him.
I got a stat for you on Espinal. This comes from @DeWink33 on the X app.
Yes.
The last player with 300 plate appearances without hitting a home run in the season for the Reds was Brian Pena. Santiago Espinal passed that up. And he added, you'd have to go all the way back to 1955 for the last Reds player to have 400 plate appearances without hitting a home run. That player was Johnny Temple. So Santiago Espinal, a little bit of history at stake potentially here as the year goes on.
House Squad says, Nick, you need to do a shot with Trace. I'm ready for a red October, Reds in 5. So maybe if they sweep, we can get Nick to figure it out.
I mean, I'm not 5 o'clock on a weeknight. Probably not gonna do a shot.
Right. He's got work tomorrow, guys. He's got work tomorrow. All right.
I got work tonight.
Yeah, he's got work tonight. What do you think he's going to do? Be able to take a shot and work? Who can do that? Mama Milkers, some kind of famous number. Boy, oh boy, is it a kid show tonight, and you almost got me, but I did stop, to be fair to me. What? Was the wind blowing in tonight? Yeah. I mean, I am so tired of that. I am so tired of it. It's just like, it's just like, I don't mind it in the first inning, bringing it up, but it just seems like we just sit here and do the same song and dance all night, man. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about the Wrigley Field wind. And I hate to say this, I don't have ballpark factors, Nick. I don't have that app. Maybe I should get it, but I could be wrong. It didn't feel. It didn't even.
There's a Twitter account. That
okay. Well,
the wind was blowing in. It said center field 8 miles an hour, gust up to 14.
So it wasn't even that bad, with all due respect.
8 miles an hour is decent, isn't it?
8 miles an hour. What is it? What is it to left field? I mean,
I don't know. It said in the center, so I'm assuming it was kind of.
Yeah, I again, I'm not trying to downplay the point that Brantley's trying to make, but once I get to like the first or second inning, I'm good about hearing about it. You know,
it did feel like Trevino hit one that I thought he hit well, and it died, and then Steers didn't, and Steers was only hitting 98 miles per hour. So maybe it was maybe the wind was kind of at a weird. I don't know.
Can I ask a question that I'm naive of knowing? When you go into Baseball Savant and you look at the StatCast numbers, I would assume it's just looking purely off of the swing itself. Is it using the radar and the wind is affecting what basically?
What stat are we talking about?
Basically, just like your home run probability, like where it would be a home run in other parks.
Weather's not included in that.
Yeah, so
they want it to be context neutral.
Right. So I'm just looking at this, Nick. I'm looking at the home runs tonight in other parks. Spencer Steer's home run is a home run in 20 of 30 parks. There was only one home run tonight, right? That got out. That was Matt Shaw's. That would have been a home run in 30 of 30 parks, to be fair. Austin Hayes' home run is out in 5 of 30 parks. The ball that you were mentioning in regards to I believe you said Trevino. Trevino was gone in 2 of 30 parks, but that's Fenway and that's Houston. Those are BAM boxes. Like that's not even fair comparison.
Did you look at Hayes, the 5 that it is?
Yeah, Great American's not even one of them, if I remember right. Yeah, it's
Oracle
not.
Park is. I got to look at the dimensions of Oracle Park. I didn't know Oracle Park had the ability to be one of those like near unicorn home run parks.
I didn't either. I thought that place was just a massive field, period.
Yeah. There must be some particular part that's good to hit.
It's kind of insane. It's kind of insane how many times Great American Ballpark kind of stays away from those little small nuanced home runs sometimes. Like the ones to right field, I think, more times than not at Great American are the ones that kind of get pinged by that. But my point tonight is just to say I don't think the win was as big of a factor as it was made out to be on TV. That's all. That's it. Don't need to bring it up anymore. All right. Jessamundo and Company says, should have traded Dolo. That blister had a family. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to sit here and say it's hindsight. It is what it is, though. You know, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, my gosh, you could have traded Dolo. I don't know what they would have gotten back for Nick Lodolo. You still have a year of eligibility with Nick Lodolo.
2
years. Okay. Really?
Right. Stevenson's 1. Lodolo's 2.
All right. So you got 2 years of eligibility. That is, of course, you have the CBA in 2027. So when they play 30 games, then you get what you get. But that's here nor there. Joe Taffy, I think is the name here, says, appreciate you guys doing it night in and night out. Great series. Great series take. Yeah, this is a big series that they won. Thank you also for the support. Thank you, Joe, for the kind words. This is where you got to get greedy, though. I know people are going to maybe hate this. I'm not suggesting that I'm not happy. I'm not suggesting that I think that this isn't a good series, and I would have definitely taken it before the series started. But what I'm going to say is, and some people are going to maybe hate me for it, this is what you need to do to get to a spot where you didn't think you could get to, is what you have an opportunity to do tomorrow. You can win 3 games against a division rival. You can gain ground on what could be the Padres yet again. You could gain ground on what could be the Mets yet again tomorrow. Tonight, I've just lost track of the score, Nick, but I knew though that at one time, at least before I make a fool of myself, the Padres were down by a run.
3-2 Diamondbacks. Padres have the bases loaded with 2 outs. The Diamondbacks making a pitching change as we speak.
There you go. So big moment in that game. Hopefully
Top
Arizona.
6.
Tatis Jr. is up, and he is 0 for 3 on the game. So we'll see if they are able to kind of hold on. Hopefully they can find a way to get that out.
Diamondbacks debut for the pitcher, Andrew Hoffman. Shout out to you, big guy.
Yeah, Hoffman. It looks like a baby-faced kid. So
yeah, he just about hit Tatis with the first pitch.
Well, it looks like he might have. Maybe. I don't know. No, he didn't. Okay. All right, folks. Nick, any other parting thoughts, I guess, from this game tonight that you want to kind of elaborate on before we jump into some Reds MILB and who, what, when, where, and why as you fixate on this at bat that is going to be by Tatis Jr.
I mean, I can't do Reds MILB till we.
I know. That's fair. I will double check and make sure that we didn't miss any supers. We're gonna have to give us a play-by-play. Where are we at?
It's 2-0. Both pitches have not been competitive.
Okay. I'm going to pull up the game
young
day.
Mr. Andrew Hoffman.
By not competitive, you're not wrong. Those things are off the map. So,
yeah. The 2-0 to Tatis. Not close again. Up and in. The Diamondbacks are promoting. Replica jersey night.
Are you
Replica
ahead of
jersey
game
night against the Cincinnati Reds? No.
What's the count?
3-0. This is an official MLB broadcast. So MLB broadcast actually both of these teams, the Padres and the Diamondbacks.
I love that we've made it
3-0 to Tatis. Oh, we got it in there. That boy.
I love that
4 mile per hour painted.
I do love that we made it to the season where we have found ourselves watching West Coast baseball games. All right.
The 3-1. The pitch. No!
You see how bad this is on the strike zone?
I mean, that hit 75% of the plate.
Yeah, that was a bad one. For those that are wondering what the hell just happened, our main man Hoffman bounced back on 3-0 through a strike, and then he bounced back on 3-1 and threw another strike that was pretty clearly a strike, and they called it a ball. So game tied 3-3, and now the Luis Ariz is up to the plate with the bases loaded.
And now Hoffman got a pitch timer violation.
So
Oh, man.
here we are. I think it's best if you just do Reds MILB. You can't do it? All right, you can't do it. You can't do it. It's 2-0, Nick. It's 2-0. You've got to stop watching it because it's getting bad.
Now I'm behind. Now I'm behind. All right.
It's getting
Reds
bad.
MILB. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, wait, they got rained out. That's why that's not in there. We'll start off with AAA. The Louisville Bats got rained out. They're going to play a doubleheader on Wednesday, starting at 5:05. Chase Petty will start game number 1. AA Chattanooga, they lost 6-1 to Birmingham. Not a whole lot in this one. Cam Collier 0 for 4. Edwin Arroyo 1 for 3. Leo Balcazar 1 for 3 with a walk. Good night from Austin Hendrick. He was 2 for 4. And good stuff from Easton Sikorsky. 2 shutout innings, struck out 2 batters in relief. He had really been struggling since getting promoted to AA. High A Dayton, they lost 6-0 to Lake County as Luis Ariz flies out to end the inning. 3-3 game. The Dragons, they've lost 5 of 6. They're 32-67. Carlos Jorge 1 for 3, double and a walk. Yerlin Confidant 1 for 3. That's about it. And down to Low A Daytona, they were swept in a doubleheader to Jupiter. They lost 6-1 and 6-3. The first game, the completion of a suspended game. Tortuga is now a game back in the second half playoff spot. Duno, though, had a good day. He was on base 3 times, 1 for 2, 2 walks. Alfredo Duno leads the Florida State League with a .411 on base percentage. .411 on base percentage for a catcher. Tyson Lewis 0 for 6. Tough day with a walk. Arnaldo Lantigua was 2 for 6. Cole Schoenwetter, another tough outing for him. He walked 3 batters, 5 hits, 3 runs over 3 innings. Reds number 25 ranked prospect now with a 6.75 ERA and a whip of almost 2. Dominican Summer League, the DSL Reds won 17-1 over the DSL Padres Brown, and the DSL Rojos won 3-2 over the DSL Cubs Blue. Liberts Aponte 0 for 4, but not to bury the league. I mean, the story of the day in Reds minor league baseball.
Yep. Come on.
Reds number 13 ranked prospect Sheng-In Lin is reportedly being promoted to Low A Daytona. Lin is a two-way player, of course. Pitched very well, 2.67 ERA in 30 innings in the Arizona complex. Struggled offensively, hit just a .172. Did have a .348 on base percentage. Reports sound like he's probably going to focus more as a pitcher the rest of the year. And so we'll see, but we will finally get some video of Sheng-In Lin and get to see kind of what he can do.
The good news is we already got a video of Sheng-In Lin. If you want to get down to
nitty-gritty, we were there first. We were there first.
We had it first. We were Johnny on the spot first. Now, having said that, it is Sheng-In Lin and Tyson Lewis, right? I mean, that's the show that exists now currently. Yes.
Well, Alfredo Duno's there too. I mean, Duno's
I know, but Alfredo
top
Duno's
prospect.
He's on his way. He's on his way to bigger and better places. We're talking about the young bucks. You know, Duno's he's probably at this point very well established, I'd assume, in Daytona.
Kind of surprised he hasn't been promoted. I'm assuming it's probably more defense than offense at this point. They have some things. The Reds do have a lot of like check marks. They want guys to hit. And I'm guessing Duno has not hit what they wanted yet for defense, and that's probably why he hasn't been promoted yet.
All right. Fair enough. We do have more baseball and a massive, massive, massive opportunity on the way, and I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. You can win 5 in a row, you got a chance to make it, and they're going to be one step closer if they can find a way to do it tomorrow with what some would say maybe a probable matchup.
Well, Andrew Abbott against Cade Horton, 2:20 start time. Cade Horton entered 2025 top 60 prospect in baseball. Last 3 starts for Horton against the Orioles, White Sox, and Red Sox, a ERA of 0, 17 innings, 0 runs. Now, he has walked 7 and only struck out 10, so hopefully he's due for a little negative regression there. Horton is a really talented prospect, not striking out a ton of guys, only striking out 6.5. He struck out over 11 batters per 9 innings in the minors. but he really flew through the minors. Only made 36 career minor league starts. Reds have obviously never faced him. The only Red to face him is Brian Hayes, who is 0 for 2. Although, you want some big league journalism here, Trace. Tyler Stevenson faced Horton during a minor league rehab game on April 23rd. Stevenson went 0 for 2 in that one. Horton relies mostly on 4 pitches, a four-seamer, sweeper, changeup, curve. Fastball averages 95.6. His changeup has been very good. Batter's hitting just $118 with a 147 slug. Andrew Abbott, last 4 starts, a 2.16 ERA, which is actually higher than his season-long 2.15, showing how good he's been. Abbott is 3-0 with a 2.30 ERA and 5 career starts against the Cubs so far this year in 2 starts. How about a 0.71 ERA? Active Cubs are 15 for 67. Swanson and Turner have homered against him. Ian Happ's 1 for 11. Pete Crow Armstrong is 0 for 6. Seiya Suzuki 1 for 8. And one last stat that's really exciting going into a sweep. The Cubs this season are 50-30 against right-handed pitching. Against left-handed starters, just 15-18 on the season.
All right. I got to tell you, it's people think that these games at this point in the season aren't the make or break kind of winner, basically be dead type of situations. I'd like to say that at the end of the year, it's going to come down to whether or not you can complete these sweeps. They did it with the Rays. They were incapable of doing it against the Mets. Can they find a way to do it against the Chicago Cubs? We shall find out. Don't know if Nick is basically decided to leave the show on purpose. Don't know if he's going to find something that he just doesn't want us to see. I don't know what happened to Nick Kirby. And I do know this. If you hit the like button on this stream, I would very much appreciate you as we head off into the sunset here. I'm a little concerned for Nick, slightly. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know, someone pulled the plug on him. I don't know. But I just want you to know that I appreciate you, and we got to find a way to win tomorrow. That's what we're going to do. So we'll be back here better than ever tomorrow. And if you don't think I'm going to do a dunk, you'd be wrong. But we'll see. I'm going to try to figure out exactly how to end this show. It sounds like he's back. Whether he's back or not, I don't totally know. Nick, are you all right? Can't even hear me. You okay?
Man of the people.
Oh, wow. Oh, what a treat this is. Treat.
I wait till the end because I don't want to, I don't want to give the slackers that bow out at 11:20. I want the nut cutters.
What are you drinking? Some high-end stuff, probably. Some really nice high-end stuff you got there.
No, I have no idea. This is in. I don't even remember what's in here. My kids got this for me. Really nice. Got little dad thing with their names etched in it.
Yeah, number 1 dad.
So number 1 dad special.
Love that. Oh, that's gonna taste so good. Mm-hmm. Yep. Can't wait for him to get them previews done tonight. He's gonna be ripping in that podcast, cutting it up.
That is not the good stuff. That is not the good stuff. We now confirm that.
Well, it is the good stuff. Your kid's gonna watch this back. He didn't really mean that, kids. He thinks what you got him was phenomenal. It's the best gift he's ever received.
No, I poured whatever's in there. I just don't remember what I poured in there.
Oh, gotcha. They got you the bottle. You decided to get.
I'm not blaming the kids. I'm not blaming the kids.
All right, that's good. Otherwise, I just want everybody to know we appreciate them. We love them. I'm gonna go and try to be what some would call an athlete, and until then, we'll keep it moving because the Reds got a baseball game tomorrow, and we'll be back here better than ever to hopefully take out the Reed Mouse, drowning, pitiful, sorry, no good for nothing Chicago Cubs. Nick?
Speaking of Reed Mouse, Chatterbox Bengals returns on Thursday night. They're going to do a post-game show after Bengals Jaguars. It'll be Reed and Craig. We're actually planning, as long as rain or nothing messes it up, we will redirect the Chatterbox Red stream directly to that. I think the times are going to match up well. So join us for Chatterbox Reds after Reds Pirates. Then you'll get redirected to Chatterbox Bengals. We are trying to revamp Chatterbox Bengals, have a good season this year. So be sure to join them on Thursday night. And also make sure you're subscribed to Chatterbox Bengals in podcast form. Going to revamp the podcast this year. Lots of good content there. So Thursday night, you'll be redirected if you're here with us. Make plans for a long night of Chatterbox Sports.
That it is, and there are going to be some more news headed your way as well, as many people are wanting. I know what you want. I'm going to try to give the people what they want, okay? I know what you want. I know what some of you want. We're going to give it to you. Just got to be patient, right? Got to be patient. You got to treat us like Spencer Steer a little bit, you know? Got to give us a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. It can be rocky at times. You know, you lose a guy here, you lose a guy there, you lose an arm there. You can't get your swing back in time. But you know what you can do? You can dunk a basketball, and you can tell everybody good night. We love you. We appreciate you. Hopefully we can find a way to win tomorrow, and hopefully you join us when they do. Till next time, watch this dunk. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Athlete!